Hi. I'm very excited today. We'll see if I can get my shit together enough to host you through the meditation that I want to bring you to. So, welcome to those who are starting to come in live. Hola. And those of you who are watching the replay. Today I'm going to do two things. One of them I've never done before. This is why I'm so excited. It's going to be really cool. So this is the story of my life, by the way. Whenever I would say those words or come into the kitchen in my family and all the men would like seize up, I'd be like, I have this idea, this new thing that I wanted to try. And they all go like, oh shit, where is she taking us now? To an island. Now we're moving here. Now we're doing this. Okay, so today we're going to do two things. One of them is that I'm going to take you through an erotic meditation. So this is not going to be too far out. We're not going to do that on Instagram. We're going to keep it really chill. But it's very exciting because I've never done this. So some of you may have been watching my stories, and I am taking you through erotic stories in my stories, very meta. And the concept is similar, but it won't be as far out. So I'm going to take you through something really basic, but the idea is for you to really embody the experience as a meditation. And we're going to do some prep work around that, some trauma-informed prep work before going into the meditation, so you have choice and opportunities, okay? And the second thing we're going to do today is I'm going to offer you some seductive tools and practices to help boost your sexy for this Valentine's Day, which is a little bit of a controversial idea. I asked this question in my group around what people thought about Valentine's Day, and of course mixed opinions around whether it's a commercial process where people are just making money, or if it's something that's really a good opportunity to appreciate those that we love. And this is applicable in whichever side that you are, whatever opinion that you hold is perfectly fine. You can use it on any day. It doesn't have to be on the 14th. It can be on absolutely any day. So let's start, as we always do, by just getting into our body. And I'm going to do that by offering you this meditation. And I actually have my little feather with me to help with sensation. And I think sometimes this translates through the screen. So to begin as a prep, I'm going to take you into the meditation, and it's going to have some erotic elements to it that maybe, one person's eroticism is another person's nightmare. We never know, right? So it may be uncomfortable for some of you, and for you it might be amazing, and it might be super like a big turn on. So if at any point through the meditation, because the meditation really helps you, and you'll hear my voice also helps people really drop in, and my experience helps people drop in. If at any point you're like, this doesn't feel good in my body, or I feel uncomfortable, you'll have the opportunity to just pop back out, right? This is not actually happening. We're just doing a meditation. It's just happening in our head, but sometimes the body can start to feel like it's actually happening. So to prepare for that, I'm going to suggest that you just start to breathe right now, to just settle into your chair. If you're sitting on the bed, maybe you're a lucky one who's sitting outside in the grass and the sun. It's been beautiful in Valencia. What a joy it is to live in this beautiful city in Spain. So really dropping in. And before we get into the meditation, so you can already probably feel how I've dropped into my center, is to take a look around you and orient yourself in the room. So just look around and see what's there, what's around you, and choose something that can be either in your own body, so you can either feel like something that feels particularly strong or pleasurable or good right now, or it can be something external. You can just land your gaze on something beautiful or that gives you pleasurable sensations, like, oh, that is beautiful. And you can always come back to this space If you start to feel uncomfortable during the meditation, you're like, ugh, this is not for me, just come out. You can rub your thighs with your hands to just bring you back to your body, and either gaze on that beautiful thing or just concentrate on that part of the body that felt pleasurable or strong for you. You always have that to help you come back out of that kind of space, okay? So that is a way that we work with trauma. In case things start to get a little bit funky, you always have the opportunity to come back to pleasure and strength in your system. Okay? So I'm going to invite you now to drop in. You can have your eyes closed or open, whichever is more comfortable for you. And the invitation now is just take a few breaths. Feel your seat, wherever it's landing. You can really sigh out any kind of tension. And I'm going to take you through a slightly erotic scene where you are being led by your partner. Doesn't matter, the gender is applicable to everyone, into a room. There's a sense of anticipation here. So you're a little bit excited. You're not sure what's going to happen. Just notice in your body what anticipation feels like. Is it pleasurable? Is it stressful? And one note that I really want to offer up here is that you fully trust this person. It can be a partner romantically, it can be a good friend. It's just someone that you really trust to lead you in this space, to care for you, and to move with you through this process. So they take you to the middle of the room and they ask you to get on your knees. If that's comfortable for you, you can have a blanket, it can be whatever you want so that it feels very good in the body. And now you can choose to open your eyes or close your eyes in this scene. If it's more sensual and allows you to be more present, you can close your eyes in the scene, even if your eyes are open in the meditation. Work with that. See whatever feels best for you. Allow yourself to be guided by this partner, friend, person you trust. And they slowly bring out a feather and just start moving it over your face. And I want you to really focus on the sensations. What does it feel like on your skin to have something of this texture? If you want to create more of an experience, you can use your hand in real life and just pass it over your face, imagining that they are doing this to you. And notice what it does to your nervous system when you use something pleasurable like this. Do you calm down? How does your body feel in general? Do you get turned on? Also a possibility. And now they come behind you, but they put their hands on your shoulders in this trusting motion of like, I'm here. And they start playing with your scalp, like just massaging gently. And you can decide how hard it is, how soft it is, depending on what you like. You can make sounds if you wish. expressing what you enjoy, like just an expression of what you're feeling. And then they slowly bring their hands down your arms, down your shoulders, and they take your hands behind your back to tie them up. Some of you may enjoy this, some of you may find the loss of control a little bit disorienting. Just notice in your body what happens. For those of you who are submissive, you may be totally turned on by something like this. And this partner starts to tie your hands together with a rope very slowly. They put their hand on your shoulder, asking you if everything's okay, how you're feeling. And you can let them know. And then they're slowly tying the rope in between your ankles, your wrists, and up your arms a little bit so that you're immobile, but you trust in what they're doing. And you can feel the pressure of the rope on your arms and almost like this restriction of blood flow a little bit, but it's not uncomfortable, it's not painful. And imagine a sense of surrender in this. You don't have to hold anything right now. You don't have to take care of the scene. You don't have to make sure your partner's okay. You don't have to do anything but just experience, like fully surrender. They are holding this for you right now. What does that feel like in your body to completely surrender here? Is it easy? Is it tricky? Do you pop in and out? Your partner asks you how you're doing. And then already, this is just a short little testing meditation to get you to drop in. They start to unwind the rope. And as they unwind the rope, you can feel your blood flow coming back into your arms and this sense of freedom. Almost like a big sigh, like coming back to your own agency, coming back to your own sense of self. Maybe there's emotion that comes up here, maybe not. And then your partner sits directly in front of you and you can start sharing your experience. What that was like, what it felt like, what you liked, what you didn't like. And now I'm just going to invite you to come back to yourself as we close the meditation. And either with eyes open or closed, get a general feel of what that was like for you. Notice if there's any tension or any particularly relaxed area in your body. And just let it be as it is. No need to change anything. Slowly start wiggling your toes and your fingers. And coming back to the camera. And if there's anything you'd like to share about this experience, please feel free to put it in the comments here, or if you're watching the replay, in the IGTV comments. And we're going to move on to the next portion now that we're all relaxed. And these are tips and tools that you can use for this coming Valentine's Day. So I asked in my group, the Sexy Valencia community on Telegram, how do you feel about Valentine's Day? And I got mixed reviews, right? Some people are like, fuck that. I do Valentine's Day every day. We want to show appreciation all the time, not just this one day of the year. Perfectly valid answer. Others were like, great opportunity to focus in on appreciation of the people that are lighting our fire, that are really an important part of our lives. Perfectly valid. Some people just think it's an economic bullshit scam. Perfectly valid. So for those of you who are not Valentine'sers, you can use this tomorrow, right? You can plan this for next week. You don't have to do it on the 14th of February. You can do it every month. You can do it at whatever. You use this as you like. This is just an opportunity to bring focus on a celebration that a lot of people have, and that maybe shifting up the ritual, maybe putting a little more intention into it than just, booking a night at the restaurant and then having the typical like, oh, we're going to have sex tonight kind of thing. Let's make it a little more interesting, shall we? So this is also applicable if you are solo. Valentine's Day can be really stressful and annoying for people who are single and who don't want to be, right? Who are seeking partners and who will not be receiving flowers. So I've got you here, and we can do a lot of these practices for ourselves. So one of the main things that I teach around seduction is to seduce yourself. So not only is this, it might feel cheesy to be like, oh my God, do I have to buy myself flowers? That sounds ridiculous. No, it is not. I love buying myself flowers. When we practice the art of self-seduction, it's like creating a foundation for learning how to receive from others. If I can receive from myself to the depth that I want to receive from others, it's so much easier to open to receiving from another person in that particular way. So it's really important. So it's one of those pieces where if we're in partnership, we'll have some practices here that I'll suggest. If you're not, it's an excellent opportunity to prepare for your relationship. You'll actually speed up that process by doing this kind of self-seduction, self-appreciation, self-love ritual. Okay, so what I recommend is to plan a day, and it can be an evening depending on work schedules, as long as you want, definitely a few hours, where if you're solo, it will be for yourself. It's like taking yourself out on a date, essentially. If you're in partner, then it is planning a date for your partnership. A few hours at least. If you can make a whole day out of it, do it. Absolutely. So the pre-Valentine's Day planning is choose your day, agree on a day when you're both available, when you're available for yourself, and start gathering the pieces, start gathering the goods, whether that is buying sexy clothing, maybe a new lipstick, or some foods that you're going to use in some of the examples I will let you know. Because once you start saying yes, when you say yes to this, the medicine starts working right away. This is something I learned when I went on my ayahuasca travels. It's that as soon as you say yes to ayahuasca, the medicine starts smacking you in the face right then and there. So it's the same idea. When you have this anticipation, we just did this in the meditation, right? When there's this sense of anticipation for something, it already starts to ignite you. That excitement, what does that feel like? It's a good fire to start building, to say like, ooh, in a couple of weeks from now or in a week from now, whenever we've got this great date happening, something really exciting is going to be taking place. So use that as a tool for spicing things up. So, okay. I'm going to give you a bunch of ideas on what you can do during this day so that you can plan a little bit and gather the elements that you need. So some ideas are taking a sensual bath. It can be with essential oils, flower petals, Epsom salts are awesome, and this can be for 2 or 3, or it can be for yourself. You can feed each other food, which is super sexy. Feed yourself food in a very sensual fashion. So absolutely everything that I'm going to suggest right now, I'm going to suggest be done in the 5 senses. So really allowing yourself to experience everything with your senses awakened and alive. If you're feeding yourself food, if you're feeding your partner food, to just like let yourself completely experience. It could be as simple as like a grape, a piece of chocolate. Really allow yourself to breathe it in, to feel it fully in the body. What does it taste like? What does it feel like in your system, in your mouth? What do you hear when you're chewing or if you're like crunching something? What does it smell like? Really activating all of your senses, because this increases connection to yourself, to your partner, to be in your senses in that way, and a sense of presence in the moment. So really being present with everything that's taking place. This is a huge piece that I teach in coaching for relationships or just to connect to your own body, because it does help to connect to other people when you connect to yourself. Other ideas are sensual dance. This is either you do it, I do it all the time on my own. You can do it with a partner as well. So I've been taking bachata lessons. This is beautiful if you know how to do it. If not, it can be free form. It can be naked. You can do a strip tease, which is so much fun. I love it. I love it. You can, if you're a little bit more risque, you can let your partner blindfold you and guide you a little bit like what we did in the meditation through an experience. And this can be a sexual experience. It can be a non-sexual experience, just something sensorial around the house or around your neighborhood, depending on how wild you want to get. You can try a new sexual practice. So this is solo or partnered. You can try something you've never tried before, plan it in advance, agree on what that would be, and you can plan to try it. That's super exciting, especially the anticipation around something like that can make you even a little bit nervous. Allow yourself to communicate around that nervousness and share what's going on. You can watch a sexy movie. So porn has a bad rap, but only when it's used often, like very, very often, then it can desensitize. But once in a while, it's great. It can absolutely light fire, especially if you never do it. You'll start cracking up. It's like a great connecting piece. Okay. So on the day of, so this is the prep, right? Gather your goods, make decisions on what you want to do. Once you arrive to the actual day that you've planned, first thing I want you to do is tear up your plan. This might seem counterintuitive, but it's the same that I teach in manifestation or desire coaching. It's when you can get really, really clear on what you want, and it's super important to just have a guiding light of where you're going based on what you desire, what your needs are, what excites you, what you want to experience. But then ditch the plan, right? Like just trust that life is going to take you to that thing. You've already made the decision, because it can take you in funny paths to get there sometimes that don't feel like they make sense, but they do, because you need to learn certain things to get to that place. So ditch the plan to add an element of spontaneity, to add an element of fluidity and trust in the moment. To, if you're enjoying a particular practice, don't cut it because you planned 15 minutes, right? Like that just sucks. Let it go on. Let it like go until you no longer feel charge around it. Let it wrap you up. Even if you do one thing for 3 hours, amazing. That can be the best thing. If we get too stuck in the planning, then it can get a little cerebral and in the mind. So ditch the plan. Allow your spontaneity and wildness to come through. And once you've actually gone through all of the pieces, wrap up with a conversation around what you enjoyed and what was meh, whatever. Don't need to do that again. Be gentle in the conversation. Use I experienced type language. Not you did this thing, but more like this is how I experienced this thing. Be very gentle. Don't get in an argument. This would really wrap up the day in a shit place. You don't want to do that. You want the memory to stay really lovely. And if you're doing this for yourself, same thing. Have that conversation with yourself. What do I like? What do I want to do more of for me? Yeah, because it gets clear what you like for yourself, then you can then communicate to your future relationship when you get clear on those pieces. Okay, so I hope that all of this information was really fabulous for you. I don't know if you may have seen my recent post about inviting you to my love orgy. So I don't believe Valentine's Day should be just for couples, relationships, triads, however many people are a part of that. So I'm offering up throughout the month of February coaching sessions, single coaching sessions, which I don't usually do because I like to have continuity in the process, for $100 per session, which is a lot less than what I usually charge. So I'm just giving love to 10 people. So I've opened up 10 spots for February where you can experience coaching with me one-on-one around anything that you get blocked of. So anything that we spoke about in this live, in my past lives, that you get stuck around, that there's something that you feel like you want to unblock or work on or develop. For couples, I love working with couples in tantric practices because sometimes they're in a great place, but they want to get to an even better place. And that always just gives me so much joy to work with these. So you can join as a couple. The price is $150 for that one, or you can join solo and it's $100. In euros, it's 90 euros for those of you who live in Europe. And I have 10 spots open. So you can also use this as a gift for your partner for the Valentine's Day thing, or if you're not using Valentine's Day, for just your celebration of love. And that's it. That's what I have for you today, my loves. Thank you so much for joining and for watching and for participating. And make sure to come see my stories because they're always really funny and great. I love making them. And I love connecting with all of you like this. Okay? So I will see you next week, same time, with something else fun. And enjoy your day.